Okay, another video about some older products that I'm moving on out of my collection to make space because I've run out of room in my drawers. I did a previous video talking about the eyeshadows and eye products that I'm moving on, so pop over and have a look at that. But today we're going to have a look at sort of blushes, cheek products, blushes, bronzers, highlighters, that kind of thing. So in my eyeshadows I started with the Kylie Cosmetics old 9-pan palettes, and as much as I was obsessed with getting those, I had to get all of her cheek products when she came out with those as well. So I bought the full set of the blushes and highlighters. They were originally in this cardboard packaging. They were so hard to get. They were another one where I had to be online at probably 3 o'clock in the morning, like fighting the hordes to try and get them. Even from when I first got these, I was disappointed. They never lived up to the hype. They were dusty and kind of pretty matte and lackluster and didn't have much life, but I still use them. I think I've used just about every single one of them to a decent amount, but obviously over the years blush products have gotten so much better, so keeping matte lifeless blushes around, it's just, there's no point. I'm never going to use them, and they're so old now as well. Even some of the holiday ones. There was actually, this was one of the Christmas, I want to say 2018 maybe, I might be wrong, 2018, 2017, something like that. There was actually a finishing powder that came with this collection as well that I absolutely loved, and I would have bought again if they had have released it, but she never did. I mean, it's a beautiful highlighter, but it was never the right colour for me either. It used to look like a dirty stripe on my cheek, but you know, didn't know any better about highlighters back then. So yeah, and that bright pink, I've got, you know, multiples of that kind of bright pink colour now in much better formulas, so it's okay for them to move along. Also a little pot, this would have come with one of her holiday collections. It's like a little pot, I don't know if I want to open it, it's probably going to go everywhere. A little pot shimmer highlight dust, can you see in there? I don't want to hold it up because I don't want it to go everywhere, but it was super glittery, like really cool if you were going to a festival or something, but face it, I wasn't going to festivals. I think I used to use this a lot on my eyes more than anything else. So I've got another one of these in more of a sort of a softer champagne-y colour, which I've kept for just in case I ever need a glitter. But yeah, they can move on. Sticking in the vein of famous people, before all the controversy and all of the yuckiness came out, I was a mad Jeffree Star fan. His makeup products were really good. I begrudgingly got rid of all of his stuff that I had when all the yuckiness started to come out because I didn't want to keep it. I didn't want to support him anymore. But the collaboration that he did with Manny MUA, if I can even get it open, which is the Skin Frost in Eclipse. There was this and 2 liquid lipsticks from memory. I loved it, and I didn't hardly even use it because I wanted to keep it because it was so like pretty and beautiful and hard to get and all of those things. So this will probably, it'll go in my makeup memories box because it's a point in time, you know, it's a point in time in makeup history, but I will not support. I was even in 2 minds about whether to even put it on here because, you know, poison, but you know, I suppose it's good to remember where things have come from sometimes to remind us to not go back there. Couple of kind of, you know, everyday products for me that I used to use constantly. The Physicians Formula butter bronzer, like everybody. The smell is bad. This is way old. I loved this. I love the tone of it. I love the way it blended on my skin. But I've just got so many good bronzers now that this just doesn't even get a look in anymore. And I think this is about 3 years old, so it stinks. It needs to go. Another one of my everydays that I really used to get a workout and would be just my easy go-to every day, pick it up because there was always a colour that I would use, was the Tarte, what's this even called? Colour Wheel. It was maybe, I want to say 7-8 years ago that this got released. I think it was a holiday collection, but it was handy because it just had lots of different colours, some highlighters, some sort of dusty, neutrally bronzy blushes, and some brighter summer bronzers. This was great for travel. I used to take this with me every time I went on holidays, but again, it's just too old now. Another one that used to come with me everywhere, and I made a concerted effort over the last few years to try and actually use this to see if I could actually get through it. It's the NARS Narcissist. The reason I got this originally was because it had the, is it Hot Sand? I want to say it's Hot Sand. Yeah, Hot Sand highlighter, which was really hard to get as a single. It was sold out, and I really wanted it. So I was happy to have owned this, and I gave this a workout. I used this almost like every day for 6 months on end, and I couldn't get anywhere through it. Like didn't even hit pan on any of them. So it just goes to show, you know, how much makeup you really don't need a lot of, and it really does last. But over the last sort of 6 months, I've pulled this back out every so often and just started to dip back into it, and it's not working as nicely. So it's time to move it on. Another nostalgia one, when I saw these, and I don't know whether I saw these when they were released or there was just a point in time when they caught my eye, I had to have them. They were so beautiful. The Laura Mercier Face Illuminators, the packaging's okay, you know, but it was the way that they looked. They were stunning. And this one's really super messy. I probably should have cleaned it up a little bit, but that pattern was stunning. I have this, and I've also got a 4-pan palette of smaller sized ones, which I've kept because it still works really well. Even though these are probably maybe 6 or 7 years old, they still work really well. The reason I'm moving this one on is because this color was never right for me. It was back in that looking like a stripe, kind of on your cheeks sort of days of highlighters, which I'm not around for anymore. And then the last couple are actually in a magnetic palette. I don't know if I can maybe pull them out. This was in a holiday box that I took these little pans out. I chucked out the rest of them, but I kept these. Hoola Bronzer and Rocketeur Blush. They really were the only ones out of the Benefit box blushes or box cheek products that I found were the right colour for me. I'm sure they've probably got others now. But yeah, everyday staples. Hoola Bronzer was pretty much one of the first, I'm going to say one of the first bronzers I ever used, probably, and used it religiously when there wasn't much variety around in bronzers. Again, they're old. I've got newer products now that I like more, so it's time for them to move on, and they're in a super duper messy old Kylie Cosmetics palette that I really just want to chuck out, to be honest, because I don't need it. I've got no space. No space is the motto of this activity that I'm doing right now to clean some stuff out. Anyway, I'm rambling. Better go.